it's Sunday morning. You may think that it's kind of gray, a little rainy outside, but you know what? Even the rain serves a great purpose, and that'll help with all of the planting that's going to be going on very, very soon. That brings us to Kelly and Erinn from Kelly's Bake Shop. You are listening to Cupcakes and Consciousness. This is the most positive hour of radio you are ever going to hear, and we're so glad that they're joining us again. April is a very special month because actually the ladies are going to be joining us twice. We'll be back on April the 28th with another edition. But in the meantime, we are going to be focusing on self-love, finding your power, and with Easter just around the corner, that brings us back to all of the sweet stuff that is available at Kelly's Bake Shop. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Yeah, I know. We're super excited that Easter is just around the corner at Kelly's, and it's a very, very busy time of year for us. So we're excited to be here and hang out with you today, Shona.
Well, I happened to take a look at the website.
Of course you did.
And I noticed a few cupcakes have popped up this spring.
Yes,
we have some special
We have
ones.
some of our favorite cupcakes come around for Easter, and we also have these beautiful little Easter sugar cookies as well. But the whole menu is actually going to be starting tomorrow, Monday the 15th, and it's going to be running all the way until the 22nd of April. And we're open all Easter weekend as well too, so you have lots of time to come in and enjoy all of our Easter treats at Kelly's.
And you're actually going to be open a little bit longer than you normally are,
We do.
especially on Good Friday.
On Good Friday, yes. This is the first time we've done this, so we're going to be open till 9 o'clock actually on Good Friday. And normally we close a little bit earlier, but we realized there was so many people asking for a place to hang out at, and they wanted to come and visit. So we thought, why not open up? So it's the first time, and we've got some great staff, so everybody's excited to be able to do this for our customers.
And shout out to everybody at Kelly's Bake Shop.
Yes.
Open for business right now.
We are.
Hello to everybody.
Good morning to our team and to our awesome customers hanging out right now.
So drop in, have some really sweet stuff right now, but don't forget to go back during the next week or so.
Exactly.
Stock up again for Easter. There's also something brand new at Kelly's Bake Shop that you introduced since the last time that we were on the air. And you're in business now with Pilot Coffee Roasters.
We are, yes, and we are so excited to have kind of partnered and teamed up with Pilot Coffee. They are a Toronto-based brand, and it's something that we had been wanting to do for a really long time, was to up our whole coffee experience and our coffee game, quote unquote, at Kelly's. And the response has been incredible. We actually invested into a beautiful new barista machine and a whole new setup for our team. Our team had kind of extensive training down at the Pilot head office in Toronto as well, and the response from our customers has been incredible. Everyone is head over heels in love with our new coffee.
we felt that our coffee game needed to be improved, and so we did the research and found Pilot, and it's been actually for us anyways a match made in heaven, because we have so many people now that have really acknowledged that our coffee game is like through the roof. So we are excited to be able to do this for Burlington and those around us.
Great baked goods. You know, that coffee has to match.
Right?
The coffee
exactly.
has to match.
Exactly. You have to have those exceptional baked goods with that exceptional quality. So we're super excited to be a part of Pilot now.
Now, why did you decide on Pilot?
We had done some research on some different kind of local coffee brands, but everything that Pilot stood for, we truly valued. They work directly with farmers, so they'll actually go on trips going and visiting actual real farms down in, Brazil, in Colombia, in all these beautiful places, and actually work with the farmers. So they use direct trade, so they make sure that the working conditions are good, they make sure that everybody's happy, that everybody's getting a fair wage and a fair price for the coffee as well. And to us, that was really important, because throughout our business as well, we use fair trade cocoa and fair trade sugars and organic where possible. So for us, that was really important. So as soon as we kind of learned more and more about Pilot and what they stood for, we were kind of sold.
Yes, it's a remarkable story, and for them to cut out the middleman. And they make sure that the money goes right into the farmer's hands, and they get to see the direct result of them purchasing the beans from that farmer without hearsay. And I think that that's a remarkable story for them to be going down there and researching the right collaborations for themselves.
And as you said, that goes along with what your whole philosophy has been.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, at Kelly's, we use, whole bean flours and, sweet potato purees and pumpkin purees and just beautiful whole food plant-based ingredients that at the end of the day your body's going to thank you for and the planet's going to thank you for. And everything's completely gluten-free and vegan for those of you guys that don't know Kelly's Bake Shop. So completely allergy-friendly and just this great all-inclusive bakery that anybody can enjoy.
I think we look at the big picture,
Yeah.
and of the big picture of the planet, and that's what we've always spoken of what we can do for the planet that serves the planet to the best of our ability. And sustainability is everything. And I think that that's what, being in business and being able to provide this to people, that's why we have an extra, I'm going to say, loving connection to everybody, because we do embody that mantra. And the sustainability of our planet, like, we know that we only have so many years left of the way that we are right now. We're on a rapid course of changing direction very quickly, and we have created a massive impact on the planet right now. So we have to pay attention to those sort of things without going into it too deeply right now. I definitely could hijack this conversation.
That's a whole nother show.
It's a whole other show. Yes.
Well, let's take it back to the bakery for a second.
Sure.
And talk about some of the flavors of the cupcakes.
Let's talk about the flavors of the cupcakes.
Let's keep it light.
But we're going to get into some really
We
good
are.
discussions.
We
in
are.
a little bit.
We've got some duct tape for Kelly's mouth.
What flavors? Never mind.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But the cupcakes that you have that are designed specifically for Easter weekend, and you've got a whole slate of them.
We do, and they're very spring inspired. Hopefully it will, make Mother Nature give us a little bit more sunshine as well. But we're going to be having our strawberry shortcake cupcake, our Easter bunny cupcake, which is a beautiful chocolate cupcake filled with ganache and topped with gorgeous dark chocolate frosting and some lovely sprinkles. We have our bunny cupcake as well, which is a nice carrot cupcake with toasted coconut around the edges and a little handmade bird's nest with jelly beans on top. We have our little chick cupcake, which is like a nice coconut cupcake, and we actually hand pipe a little chick on top of it, and then some beautiful Easter sugar cookies as well. So we have everything that you need for Easter. And Easter I think is probably my favorite holiday at Kelly's. It's definitely our busiest too. Lineups out the door around the corner. So
it was crazy yesterday.
It was crazy yesterday.
It was insane.
It was beautiful yesterday.
The
too,
weather,
right? So yesterday kind of warmed us up for what this week ahead is going to be. But we're super excited. We love Easter.
Yeah, it's an amazing time.
Yeah.
And is everything made right at that bake shop?
It
We do.
is. Yes.
Everything gets made right in house.
Every single thing is made right in that facility.
Right from scratch.
Right from scratch, and we are bursting at the seams. I was talking to a couple of our staff yesterday about that, and trying, because we've grown so quickly and so rapidly that some of our storage now, we're trying to rejig things so that it will work in our current space, while also at the same time planning some beautiful growth as well for 2019 as the business grows.
We've sort of taken every cubic volume space of it, from even the vertical, the walk-in freezer, everything.
Right.
We've got a staff now of 32.
Yeah,
I'm actually growing another 3, so maybe 35 by the end of 2 weeks. But it's people are quite surprised.
Yeah,
they don't realize how much of an operation it is,
Yeah.
and it is a very serious operation.
About stuff that's really sweet and fun to eat.
right?
right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
While you're there, you're stocking up for your Easter family meals, and you want some really great desserts there. Do yourself a favor, have a lovely cup of coffee, maybe a brownie. while you're
Sure.
eating.
Right.
I do
exactly.
brownies for breakfast.
I know.
There's no downside with that, right? They're full of flax meal, and I get my protein.
Fiber. Everyone's happy with a brownie for breakfast.
It's all good.
That's great.
One of the focuses, one of the things that you wanted to talk about, this is more the consciousness side of Cupcakes and Consciousness. So I think we have covered the cupcakes.
Yep.
But you wanted to talk about self-love and finding your own power, which can start with a really good gluten-free, vegan morning. It's a little self-love.
Absolutely.
But it's good for your body and your soul.
Yes.
It totally is. And so for myself anyways, for the last few weeks in particular, but really maybe even the last few years, but I'm seeing myself change and become aware of so many more things just over the last few months, and then in particular in the last few weeks, of the ability for me to shrink to the I'm going to say
Benefit?
shrinking to the, I guess, to the benefit of others. When others might feel bad because of my large presence or because of my ideas or whatever, but I'm feeling that I have changed my life in so many ways, even though it might look pretty good from the outside, and I might look pretty normal from the outside. And I think that that's, I can talk for all of us, that we have another side to ourselves that a lot of people don't see. So but coming out and talking about my lack of self-love and my lack of doubting myself and questioning my abilities has brought so many more people going, wow, I had no idea, but talk more, Kelly, because I want to hear more about it. And what I've identified with is what keeps me from growing. And it is this another talk in my brain that is affecting my moving forward with my choices and my decisions in life. So I've done a lot of quantum physics lately in the last little while, and what quantum physics does is it really bridges spirituality and science. And to understand that we all have the capability to rewire our brains and to rewire our thought processes and rewire our neurons. So with the neurons that, if you're these neuron synaptic connections, when they fire together, they wire together. And so you can actually recreate a whole new sense of self, a whole new sense of being by repeating yourself, repeating mantras, repeating intentions, repeating affirmations, starting your day off on the right foot. And now I actually start my day and I go, wow, what would the greatest version of myself look like? And when I ask myself that question, I open myself up to all the possibilities and all the potential probabilities that ever could manifest in my life, instead of me trying to control and dictate what I need to be and not be. When I actually open myself up more to the possibilities of what I could be, and with the self-love. And so this is what I've been doing, a ton of more meditation. Meditation means to become familiar with yourself. And when you take those moments to pause and go in deeper and understand the love component that is so required. Because when you start loving yourself in a whole new way, there is no way of you being stopped. You opening yourself up to so much more. So I know that we see this in the business too, and I know that my energy too can be affecting people. So we're talking about the business. When I am in those moods of feeling awkward about myself and feeling down about myself, feeling in lack, right, which is a great word, thanks Erin, is you can walk into your business and all of a sudden all of your employees feel the same way. And I've caught myself on many occasions, because as a leader, it is so important to be this person that embodies your mission statement, the culture in the business. There can't be any wiggle room from it at all whatsoever, right? We have to actually be that person that we are embodying what our business is. So it's very interesting, and for myself, I have just been doing as much, actually I got a course I'm doing online. I've got books called Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza, an amazing book. And just going deeper with, I don't know if, we can talk about some of the things that I'm reading and I'm involved with too. So Greg Braden's another great guy, Dr. Bruce Lipton, biologist, and these three guys, Greg Braden, Dr. Bruce Lipton, and Dr. Joe Dispenza, are, I call them the triad of magic for me. They are just, they hit everything on this planet for myself, of learning from the quantum field to learning about civilization to learning about biology. And, I'm learning that the way that you're getting disease right now is just from stress, everybody. They're saying 99% of it is all caused by stress. So, and we are a very stressed out society.
We are. And you know what? We're going to take a little break.
Okay. We're pausing Kelly right now.
Deep breath. Your soul as well. Erin and Kelly from Kelly's Bake Shop are in with us. This is Cupcakes and Consciousness. I'm Shona Thompson. This is 900 CHML. Just before the break, we were starting to talk about self-love, finding your power, getting out of your own way. If somebody is standing in your way, are you actually looking in a mirror?
Right?
That could be one of the things.
Yeah.
And Kelly, you were mentioning a number of different books that you've been delving into.
Yes.
In the area of quantum science.
Yes.
And some other areas as well.
But you know, I find too that YouTube is just an incredible resource. I was told the other day that there's 400 hours a minute being uploaded onto the
Wow.
YouTube platform. 400 hours a minute. Think of how that content. Anyways,
Wow.
it's just a wide
In
facet.
and of itself is a bit of quantum physics.
Right.
Wow.
So, the book that I love right now, it's called Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza, and just an expert on quantum physics. This guy, and I was saying too, that he bridges the science and spirituality in such an incredible way. And I just, honestly, I probably listen to about 2 or 3 hours of his stuff a day. And I'll even cut it into my sleeping time because I just find it just so interesting. And it's the downloads and the downloads and just repeating it until you actually end up, changing your life, right? So he's Dr. Joe Dispenza. The other gentleman is Greg Braden, and Greg is with a double G at the end, Greg Braden. And he is just next level consciousness worker. And Dr. Bruce Lipton, biologist, and again, he sort of left conventional biology, and he was a professor in a university, and just sort of stopped doing all of that to become a very connected, conscious individual, and how you can actually take your life to the next level. And they talk about things like meditation. And meditation is like, when you plant a garden, you've got to get rid of those weeds. And so meditation is all about, when you become familiar with, you're pulling those weeds out of those things that don't serve you anymore, right? To have this beautiful garden. And maybe you're going to get, some rocks kicking in there too. And the rocks come to the surface, but, from the soil, but those rocks have to come out too. And those rocks are those emotional pain bodies that are sitting in your body. And those are the triggers for you, right? So, you got to work on those too as well, right? And so the soil has to be, tenderized and make room to plant a new garden. And I've learned that in the moment in time when we learn the most about ourselves is when we are uncomfortable. So it's those moments in the day that you start feeling like, whoa, that just sort of affected me wrong. Oh, that person is just really, pissing me off right now, and that one, oh my gosh, and these are your triggers that are all around you. And when you sit with that and you understand, why you are being triggered that way, but you only find out why you're being triggered that way when you actually have that opportunity to sit with that uncomfortableness, that anger, that rage, that frustration, that resentment. There's something in you that has affected you so deeply. And so those are the things, and again, I'm not saying that this can happen overnight, but there is some rapid fire ways to work on loosening up all those weeds in your garden and getting rid of those rocks in the soil. And it is with meditation, and it is with practice. And that's why they call it a practice, because you got to practice it.
I know.
So,
I find myself making lists, and it's like, oh, I did it again.
I did it again.
And then you have to quiet down again.
You do.
And if you're uncomfortable being quiet.
Yes, there's another thing to work on, right?
Yes.
So is it something that you're not comfortable with yourself? Of
Yes.
course, right? So, when you take those moments to pause and go, wow, so why am I feeling wiggly right now? And, your body is the unconscious mind. And so this is where you have to take your consciousness and say, whoa, body, you know what, today you're not going to take over me.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to co-create the day that I want. I'm going to manifest it. I'm going to do it with abundance. I am not going to talk about lack. And you actually co-create this beautiful life. And of course your body's going to creep up and say, oh, well, Kelly, today might not be a good day for it. Let's put it off till tomorrow, or make some excuses. You get hijacked. But then you sit with it again and you go, no, it's time. It's time. I'm sick of suffering.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make a difference in my life. And you move forward with those thought processes.
You mentioned something, and I know this is something that Erinn wanted to weigh in on, that when you take this into your business, that your positive attitude or negative attitude is what everyone that works with you and for you will pick up on.
Well, let me just interject for a second. It's an energetic thing. And because we are all one, Like, we have to face this, that we are all on a cellular level, all absolutely connected to one source. And it's absolutely proven now. So it's not something that someone can say, Kelly, you know what, you're full of it. That's not happening. No. We are all connected. And energetically, I know I can walk into a room and I can affect. Absolutely, if there was one person in the room or 100 people in the room, I know my energy affects. I can see it. I can feel it. I can feel everyone start to wiggle if I'm in a bad mood or my energy is going out there in the wrong way. So, and that's what you want to talk about.
Or if you're also in a very good mood, too.
Yes,
you
totally.
can uplift the
gosh,
entire team, right? You know,
totally. Well, that's why we are where we are today too, because more often than not, we are
exactly
we're vibrating on that higher level, right?
Yeah, exactly. But actually going into your business and having that beautiful, positive mentality when you're going in there, because everybody has a life beyond, you know, your work and your business, but going in there and setting that beautiful, positive intention for the day with your team is very important. But something that I did want to touch on that Kelly and we've been talking about a little bit more and more is the fact of, you know, calling us girl bosses and boss babes. And it gets thrown around a lot online, and, you know, I'm guilty of saying it all the time myself.
And this is coming back to self-love.
It is coming back to self-love, but like, why do we have to be boss babes? Why can't we just be bosses? You know, why can't we just be these successful women that are, you know, running and founded this beautiful company? Why do we have to qualify it by saying that we're female? Do you know what I mean? Because I don't think that Richard Branson calls himself a successful man boss. Like, I really don't think. Right? But, you know, I think that it's important for us to know, you know, that we can be strong and we can say what's on our minds, and we shouldn't have to worry about, you know, what someone else is thinking and their perception of us, and, you know, feel guilty. So that was just something that I've been kind of stirring with more and more, and noticing myself when I've said that, you know, a girl boss and a boss babe. And it's not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just, let's just shift our focus to just be strong women.
I think it relates, and I'm going to just say this and you can expand further, is it expands further to the lack of the self-love and the shrinking.
Yes.
It's almost like we're being apologetic for being a girl and we're bosses, but, you know, can you accept us, please? Because, you know, we're these bosses. We happen to be girls, you know, but we want to be bosses.
Apologizing for success.
Right. Yes.
And that's huge. And I think it's about living, you know, your life unapologetically as yourself and truly owning who you are to your core, because your value in the world is so important, and your mission and your vision is so important, and you don't need to just be, you know, a female boss. It's like, no, you know, I'm a leader, I'm inspiring, I'm this visionary, and just really being passionate and true to yourself, I think is the biggest thing, and that comes back to self-love. It's a full circle,
and
right?
what did I post on Instagram yesterday
was
about that you can't be you can't be taken off your pedestal.
Yes.
And that was from Sarah
great.
Blakely from Spanx, the Spanx founder.
Oh, I love
and
her.
She posted that, and I went, yes! That was like, you know, as a successful woman, you can't be taken off your pedestal. No one can take you off your pedestal, right? And that comes from self-love and just being committed to your mission and your statements and your passion. It comes from all of that, and it's like, no, I don't need to apologize. I don't need to go and make myself smaller to make you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Yeah. And I think it also comes back to, you know, releasing that fear and truly owning who you are, and releasing the judgment and that attachment to it. I mean, for myself, when we opened Kelly's Bake Shop, I was 22. I'm going to be 29.
You were just a little
I was just
peanut.
like a little baby at that point. But, you know, I questioned myself a lot back then as a leader, because some of our staff were much older than me. So, you know, I would say to myself, who am I to tell these people what to do? You know, what kind of authority do I have? But I think growing more and more into this position, I've noticed myself evolving more and more, and I think that it's just really important to just own who you are. Like, you are you for a reason.
And that was very anxiety provoking for you.
Absolutely.
And that's when you were actually going through a massive bout of anxiety, and that comes from you're, again, not connecting to yourself and becoming familiar with yourself. And what cured you, Erinn?
Meditation.
Yes, right.
Well, you know, it's interesting. You're reminding me of an old saying that somebody pointed out to me many, many years ago. nobody can treat you like a doormat if you haven't already put yourself on the floor.
Right.
That's beautiful.
Yes, and that's so true.
It's so true.
We cannot be treated that way if we don't feel that way.
Exactly.
And so we have to pay attention to how we are actually treating ourselves.
Yeah.
They say that there's so many of us, and the thoughts of there's 60,000 to 70,000 thoughts a day that go through our minds.
Most of them being completely repeated.
Completely repeated. Yeah. And can you imagine that? How many of those thoughts you're actually saying, oh, you're too fat, you're too skinny, your hair looks gross today. Oh my gosh, who did your makeup? Like whatever. And and oh gosh, did you actually say that? And you find yourself going, back and forth, and it's this unconscious banter that we do in our unconscious mind, as we're saying, as our body is our unconscious mind. And the way to go through to that other side, again, it's that meditation to become familiar with, and those rewiring of those neurons with the quantum physics. Bridging that science and spirituality, to me, is just, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, it's a fascinating topic,
yeah.
And I hope people pick up the phone and get involved in the conversation. We're going to take a short break on 900 CHML, and we'll be right back. That means that you have the opportunity to get to the phone. Give us a call, 905-645-3221. Tell us about your experience.
Yes.
How did you find your power?
I love it.
Are you still looking for it? Maybe you want some tips. And a cupcake with that one. I'm just saying. You're listening to Cupcakes and Consciousness on 900 CHML. Kelly and Erinn in with us from Kelly's Bake Shop. And I've been trying more and more of them. My husband has even been trying some of them.
Wow. That's amazing.
You told us a bit about that.
It was the roasted cauliflower recipe.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
And it's so easy, right? And to have this beautiful cauliflower, you can put it almost in the center of your table, and it's just so, it's great for sharing.
Yeah.
And kind of like the conversation we've been having, when you make one change, it kind of opens a pathway for you to start thinking about what else
totally
you do.
Right.
Because he's actually crafting another roasted cauliflower recipe with Middle Eastern spices. That's awesome. For another show entirely.
Awesome.
So let's talk about some of the positive affirmations and setting yourself up for a really good day.
Sure. So as I had mentioned earlier, and you guys, you gotta like give us some questions, okay? So what I find is that when I wake up in the morning, and for me, that is the time of day, that you get a chance to co-create your day and manifest something that is so magical, because life is just truly a miracle. It is truly magical, and we all are living in this heaven on earth. So for those of you that think that there's something negative going on and that it's doomsday and all this stuff, we get a chance to create our heaven, because we are actually in our heaven on earth. So what I do is, when I ask an open-ended question, like, what would the greatest version of me look like for today? And I ask that open-ended question, and I ask during meditation, what would the greatest version of me look like for today? It turns on your frontal lobe. And all of a sudden, the front part of your brain, it starts waking up, and it starts firing, and it starts just giving you, because when you ask your mind this question, your mind will automatically give you ideas. It'll start firing off, well, it could look like this, it could look like this, it could look like this. All the possibilities and probabilities start firing off, and you have no idea, guys, how powerful your brain is, because we only utilize such a small fraction of our minds. So then you want your frontal lobe to open up, because this is where possibilities happen. So when you ask those open-ended questions in the morning, all of a sudden your mind will go, well, you know what, it could look like this if you tried this. It could look like this if you tried this. It can look like this if you tried this. And it gets exciting. There's all of a sudden this new surge of energy comes through your body, and you go, whoa, there isn't anything that I cannot take on today. Like, I can take on anything. My life is magical, and I'm going to co-create something that is just wicked.
Yeah.
And you can start with just one change for yourself.
Yes, one change for yourself.
One change for yourself.
Yes.
And I think that for me, starting my day off with a beautiful meditation and then doing those positive mantras, I know Kelly asks an open-ended question. I tend to, say these positive affirmations to myself, whether that's, talking about the business and saying, I have a strong and supportive team at Kelly's Bake Shop that I respect, and, they respect me, and, I have a strong and supportive husband, and, I love my life. And just bringing these beautiful thoughts into your life will just attract more of these beautiful, positive moments in your life that will actually happen in real life.
It's the abundance factor, right? Because when you're living with lack, and it's doomsday and it's gloomy, and so you are going to get exactly that. So when you actually say, I have abundance in my life, abundance comes easily to me, and you say things that are very positive, like they've already happened.
Yes.
And that's what you have to fool your mind, because if you tell your mind that it's already happened, you're going to get it, because your mind doesn't know whether it has happened or not.
Yes.
And that's the secret with quantum physics, is that you can actually manifest whatever you want because your mind doesn't know if it has happened or not. So when you stay in that state of abundance, you are attracting all this beautifulness to you, then that's what's going to come.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So by saying, Kelly's Bake Shop has multiple locations, or,
Sure.
Just making these beautiful statements that then, like what Kelly is saying,
Sure.
that your mind actually believes that it is true, and it will unfold exactly that way.
The pathway to get there will show you. All of a sudden, this new location to buy or to rent might come up,
Yeah.
or this new staff member that might come in that it
Yeah.
ends up saying, they want to do a few locations themselves, or
Yeah.
the possibilities are endless.
Yes.
With how it could manifest itself. So we believe so wholeheartedly in our lives and in our business. And to be these leaders, and I think that this is why, too, I can be so hard on myself when, I talk about self-love and self-doubt, and it's not like, I've had a bad life. I'm just speaking very honestly and candidly with the stuff that does go through my mind, because I am a high achiever. I am very hard on myself. So as much as I might be hard on Erinn, and she thinks I'm really hard on her, okay, and hard on other people, I am 1,000,000 times harder on myself. So, and it's like, whoa, no, you could have done better there. You could have done that better there. You could have done that, but it's like, if I end up giving myself the love and the care and the compassion and the forgiveness that is so required, that's what is freeing and liberating and lighting up your frontal lobe. That's that big secret.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned forgiveness, because we were talking about forgiveness on the last show, and that what you're really doing when you forgive someone else, it's not what you're giving them.
No.
It's what you're giving to
Yes, you're
yourself.
releasing yourself. And it's like the story's done. You take that lesson and you move on. As my coach would say, Mike, I'm going to say, hi, Mike.
Hi, Coach Mike.
Take the lesson and move on.
Yeah.
Get rid of the emotion.
Yeah.
The emotion is not serving you. Because you can repeat it 1,000,000 times. I was talking before in one of our earlier sessions is, when I was sexually assaulted when I was 12 years old. Well, it happened once. But in my mind, it's happened 10 million times.
Yeah.
How often do I want to beat myself up over it, right? It's done. You take the lesson, move on. Forgiveness for him, forgiveness for myself, and that's the lesson.
And why is forgiveness for yourself so much harder to attain?
Yes, it comes right down to the lack of self-love.
Yeah.
It's us not feeling like it's worthy. It's the separation from our soul, and from the trauma we've had in childhood, growing up, things like that have happened, and somehow we believe that we are a separate person from our 4-year-old self or our 5-year-old self. Like, no, you are actually the same soul, guys, but you've just got an older body.
Yeah.
It might be a little taller, it might be a little bigger, it might be a little thinner, like whatever it is, right? A few more wrinkles, but you are the same person, guys, when you were 4 or 5 years old. We've forgotten that. We've forgotten our connection to that soul, the protection of our little selves, the little people that we left behind because it was so painful. And that's why it's so hard to forgive ourselves.
Yeah. But it's so important. And I wanted to mention this because you're very active on social media, not only for Kelly's Bake Shop, but you as individuals. But you're also very honest. It's so easy in social media to just do, the 8x10 glossy of who you would like people to see.
Right. I really like that. The 8x10 glossy. I like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Filtered and everything too, right?
You're very honest, and there's balance in that as well. Because it's really easy for someone to see all of this, all of the good stuff, and say, well, they're able to do that, and take something negative away from it. But you're so honest about what your experience is, what your journey is, and it's not all, primroses and
Right.
rainbows
Right.
and unicorns.
No, it's not.
There's some
Right.
tough stuff everybody has to deal
Yeah,
with.
absolutely.
Absolutely. And I think that social media can give you that, false sense of reality, right? You're scrolling on Instagram and you see these perfect people and these perfect destinations, and it's like, why doesn't my life look like that? But I think breaking it down and showing people that there is an actual human being behind, a brand like Kelly's Bake Shop, and actually sharing with them this very important information about us and our lives and how we live our lives, it adds another dimension to our business, and to us it's just us living authentically. We're not strategically planning how can we show people more. No, it's like this is just us. We're open. We want to be able to share this with as many people as possible so that we can help as many people as possible, right?
Yes, I totally agree with that. And it's almost like the influencer world to me is something that I don't want to be a part of, and Erinn, I believe too. It's because the influencers have been influencing people to be more like the Kim Kardashians and the Kardashian effect. It's like, you need all this money, or you need a neon green, Mercedes-Benz, or you need this kind of lifestyle. You need 45 swimming pools, and you need 8 children, and how we're influencing people is sometimes unconscionable for how they're being influenced to think they need to buy this certain thing and buy this certain thing and be a part of this certain world. And I don't live my life filtering my stuff that comes out of my mouth. I had to watch what I was going to say there, guys, too. So
really, Mom.
And
no filter.
Yes, it's no filter, and I'm just sad I can't swear on radio. Gosh, man. So everyone's laughing right now.
Oh, Mom.
You know what? On that note, we're going to have
Okay.
a break. As we
Come
do,
back, guys.
What is a positive affirmation that people could do
Sure.
just in the commercial break? Just a short little start.
What is a greater version of yourself? What is the greater version of yourself? Ask yourself that question.
And the treats start tomorrow.
They
well,
do.
They're treats now.
Yes, but our actual full Easter menu starts tomorrow at the Bake Shop. And it'll be available from the 15th to the 22nd. And like we said before, too, we're excited because we're going to be open every single day of Easter weekend as well. And yeah,
including Good Friday.
Including Good Friday.
And
yes.
Easter Sunday.
And Easter Sunday. Yes, all of those beautiful days. For us, it's important actually to be open on those days because a lot of other places are closed. So we give, the families that come to come see us that don't have any other place to go, they come to Kelly's and they come and sit and enjoy a nice latte and a cupcake, and it's a fun hangout.
Don't think it's easy, right?
Right.
So there's a lot of sacrifices that we make personally when people don't really acknowledge that we are a small business still, and we give back on such a ginormous, large level. And again, I'm not saying this at all to get a pat on our back. I don't mean that. It's just interesting that. That we're not always acknowledged that way, right? So anyways, it's all good, but we love you guys so much, and it's our honor. Is there a call?
Well, Leslie is joining the program.
Yay,
Hi,
Leslie.
Hi. Good.
Amazing.
Good. How are you?
Nice.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. That was so nice for you to say this to us. We so appreciate it. Oh, wow.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh, well, you've made our day.
You absolutely made our day. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Leslie. That's so sweet. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for being a part of our program. I really appreciate it. And sadly, we are almost completely out of time. But that positive affirmation, that's exactly what we've been talking about in the last hour.
Yes,
exactly. It's the fairy dust. It's the magic that we know that radiates from Kelly's Bake Shop. It's our honor to be able to do this for the planet because we know it's bigger than the bake shop. We are doing this for planet Earth.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I'm so happy that Leslie just called. That absolutely just made my morning.
Have could it not?
Right?
But that's really the whole point behind Cupcakes and Consciousness, this show, and I'm so pleased to say that you're going to be on a second time this month.
We are.
We'll be back on Sunday, April the 28th at 10 a.m. with more positive attitude. In the meantime, don't forget to stop by Kelly's Bake Shop, especially this week, because a limited edition Easter treats are available. So it's good for the body, it's good for the soul, and it's just good.
It's so much love for
Yeah.
Easter, right?
Yeah,
and you know, there's going to be thousands of people we know coming through the doors, but we're ready for you.
Okay, we are ready.
And also your new partnership with Pilot Coffee Roasters.
Yes.
So an excellent cup of coffee.
Yes, we are super excited
The
about
best.
that. So come in and enjoy a beautiful latte made with oat milk or, coconut milk at Kelly's Bake Shop while you're enjoying one of our nice Easter cupcakes this week.
And one last mention, Made with Love is the cookbook, and it's got, you could have meals for days.
Days and days
It's
and days.
not just focused on the sweet, although there is that too.
Yes,
Yes.
it's sweet and savory. 50 recipes savory, 50 recipes sweet, and it's a best-selling cookbook too. In Canada, we hit a best-selling list, so
Yep.
we're very proud of it.
It's wonderful, and it gives you a new way to take a look at food and to consider how you're feeding your body and your soul. As I mentioned, we're going to be back with the next edition of Cupcakes and Consciousness on Sunday, April the 28th at 10 a.m. For Erinn Weatherby and Kelly Childs of Kelly's Bake Shop, I'm Shona Thompson. Thanks so much for joining us.